All right, we're going to begin this practice from a standing position. Ground down through the feet. Try to think about each toe independently engaging with the ground. Activate, starting from the calves, up through the hamstrings, quads, hip flexors, glutes. Roll back, show your shoulders stack on top of the hips. I want to feel like all your joints are aligned. Keep making that connection. We're going to move into a breathing exercise. But before we do, I did begin this practice with a nasal cleansing technique that I did daily while I was in my yoga training over in India. So this was really just to help clear the nasal passageway prior to going through our breathing routine and then the series of movements. All right, now that you should be very stable through the body, close the eyes, raise your gaze. Think about pressing your head back, re-engaging through the core and the legs. We're going to inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds through the nose. Hold for 4. Re-engage through the full body. Inhale for 4. Hold. Contract the core for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold. Contract the core for 4. Inhale. Hold. Feel the shoulders and back expanding. Exhale for 4. Feel the full body aligning. Hold for 4. Last round. Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale for 4. Hold. Remember to keep all your breaths through the nose at all times if possible. Come back to normal breathing. Now through this session, we're going to focus on strength and stability through the body. We're going to have a lot of isolation holds. And we're focused on just gaining a solid connection through the core and through each side of the body independently. So we're going to start, grip through just the left leg, drive that right leg up into the air. Arms come straight out to your side. And we're going to hold. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Switch legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 5. Now from here, you're going to drive your left leg straight back, bend at the waist, try to feel yourself press up from the ground, and then extend out through the legs and arms. And then we're going to drive our hands overhead, feeling the connection through the glutes, hamstrings, lower back, erectors. You're going to inhale for 8. Nope, that's too much. Let's reset. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Last one. Hands back overhead. Exhale. Now you're going to drive your hips forward, arms back out to your side, left leg into the ground. Drive that right leg straight back. Find the balance. Extend it as straight as possible. Try to create a 90-degree angle through your hips and torso. Again, press out from the ground. Expand in all directions. Arms overhead. Inhale for 4. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Remember to extend through your limbs. Inhale for 1 more. Exhale. Now drive those hips forward. Hands down to your side. Whew. I want to do, grab those knees. Wide stance, feet pointed at 45-degree angles. Wiggle down through the hips. Just rock back and forth. Up, down. Keep the knee tracking in line with your toes. Keep your hands on your knees and help assist the knees in tracking in the same direction as your toes. Rotate towards your lengthened leg. Back to center. Rotate towards the lengthened leg. Wiggle those feet back up to center. You're going to start on the left foot. Drive that right knee up toward hip level. Start to drop into a half squat. Raise arms overhead. Hold. Nice and controlled inhale. Exhale. We're doing 8 controlled breath cycles. Rise up. Switch feet. Again, drive that knee up. Pull yourself down into a half squat and hold. Three. Last one. Stand up. Here we're going to work ourselves into a back bend. Take a little time, catch the breath. Even without weight, when you're able to place yourself into difficult positions and then hold those positions for an extended period of time, it builds a level of strength through the core. That is an important foundational piece for building strength when you're lifting heavier weights, squats, deadlifts, overhead press. All of that requires incredible core control and stability with which to build off, to build that strength off of. Ooh, you can tell I'm a little out of breath. All right. Now we're moving into a back bend. This is really going to challenge both flexibility and strength through that lower back. You're going to want to grip the ground again, toes and heels. You want to have a really nice connection through the legs. Roll your arms down your side. Slowly start to bend. Grab the back of your knees. Feel yourself open and hold. If you can feel your fingers grasping more towards the inside of the knees, you're going to feel your shoulders and chest really open as it's rotating not only upwards but outwards at the same time. And then you're going to drop your head as far back as possible, trying to look towards the ground. Roll yourself back up. Now we're going to move into a wheel pose. And this one is slightly easier, so we're going to hold for a different set of breath cycles. All right, once you're very stable in this position, you want to inhale for 4, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep controlling the breathing. In and out through the nose. Roll yourself back up. And here we're going to move into a shoulder stand. Trying to drive the hips above the shoulders. Ankles stacked on top of all joints. Drive your hips up. Now here you're going to try to stand as high on your shoulders as possible while standing on the shoulders. Chin tucked tight to the chest. Activate through the upper back into the lower back. Lower back into the hips. Hips into the legs. Legs into the feet. Hold. If you can drive yourself up higher, do it, but control the breathing. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Roll those knees back down behind towards your ears. Stretch your legs back as far as you can. Again, chin still tucked to chest. Drive those knees down by your ears. Stretch the arms up towards your feet. Pull back down under your butt. Feet to the ground. Now we're going to hold a reverse plank. So almost as if you're getting in a push-up position, but with your feet on the ground, back facing towards the ground. Drive those feet straight out, hips straight up. Hold. Try to straighten those hips out as much as possible. Shoulders opening. Triceps engaging. Glutes engaged. Hamstrings engaged. Squeeze your core. Drop your chin down to chest. Hold. Keep trying to press up through the ground. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Roll that butt back towards the ground. Legs straight out in front of you. Bring your shoulders out wide. Shoulders up towards the sky. Reach hands over your head. Drop at the chest, keeping your chest as high as you can. Hands towards your feet. Grab over the feet as low as you can. Straighten your lower back. Lift the legs off the ground if you can. Try to arch the lower back and hold. Nice and controlled inhales and exhales through the nose. I'm going for 16 controlled inhales and exhales. Press the toes away from the body. Pull those shoulders back. Rest those legs on the ground. Stack your shoulders back on top of the hips. Rotate right leg up into the outside of the left knee. Drive your left arm into the ground. Raise your right arm off the ground. Try to lift the left leg off the ground. And hold. Clap those hips back towards the ground. Rotate to the opposite side. Left leg out to the outside of right knee. Right arm on the ground. Lift the hips. Rotate. Left arm up towards the sky so your shoulders are stacked. Lift that right leg off the ground. And hold. Drop those hips back towards the ground. Come up onto the knees. Here, if possible, we're going to work into a headstand pose. Now for this, I do keep a wide base on my elbows, so it makes the pose easier. If I was trying to stand directly on my head, whereas I learned in my yoga training to keep the elbows closer together, makes it harder, which just shows that my core strength honestly probably isn't as good as it should be. But we're going to work into this pose. You're going to cross your fingers, elbows out wide. Head is going to go to the back of the hands. Drive your knees up. Actually, no, back of the head, can't do it that way. Hands have to be wide. Oh, there we go. Hands on the ground. Yep. So hands on the ground rather than hands behind the head. You want those fingers wide. Start with knees on the elbows. Roll forward. Head to the ground. You may need to re-grip. Do not rush into this. Find a stable base. And then drive legs up into the air. Bring them together. Hold. We held that for 8 controlled breath cycles. Should be able to hold it for longer. Also should be able to do it hands behind the head. So there is probably some strength that could be built through my center line to help build to that. We're going to do one more of our plow pose and stacking the shoulders, or stacking the hips over the shoulders. Just drive those legs back. Try to create as straight of a line as possible. Ankles down through knees, hips into the shoulders. Drive those knees behind the head. Hands grab the feet. Stretch those feet out as far as you can. Hold. And roll back down. We're going to move into our Savasana pose. Into completely relaxed relaxed state. You're gonna have to wiggle the hips around for a bit. Wiggle the shoulders. Find where they feel most at ease. Palms facing up. And slowly slow the breathing. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now fall into your normal breathing rhythm. Nice and controlled. Release all tension through the body. Lower back, hips, shoulders, back. And exhale and fall into a mist. Darkness is falling. Breathe the fresh air. Exhale and relax. Inhale, fall into the shadows. Exhale and relax. Stay stable, but slowly come back from the shadows. Regain your thoughts. Maintain your position. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for 8. And breathe normal. Feel the body sink lower into the ground. Inhale and expand. Exhale and relax. And slowly wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Clench your fist, clench your toes. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Lift the arms out to the side and up. Lift the legs straight up into the air. Roll the shoulders forward. Lift the legs higher. Drop the legs. Hold. Pull your core up towards the sky. And feet up towards hands. Grab those ankles. Rock back. Happy baby. Rock side to side. When you're ready, sit yourself up. Twist yourself forward. Sit with one leg up into your hip, one below. This was a slow but challenging practice. I hope you found an area where you may need work, because many times we need to recheck in, see how the body is feeling, and see where we have weaknesses, because we're always moving through progressions, but those progressions create different types of deficiencies, and then understanding those deficiencies and then working on them. Switch your legs, the opposite one up on top of the hip. Again, thank you one more time for joining this practice, and I hope you found some benefit from it. If you did, please let me know in the comments what you found beneficial, and if this video brought you value in some way or another. If you don't mind supporting the channel, give it a thumbs up, and maybe follow the page if you want more similar content. Thank you one more time. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch and try to learn in some way or another. Thank you. Namaste.